Let's take Igor Sinyak, a blogger whom of course I didn't know about before. I found out about him and the second blonde guy, whom I'll also talk about, only after they were promoted by Anna Netrebko, Ksenia Sobchak and Rudkovskaya. All these socialites swept them up in this luxury whirlwind. And the fact is, I saw them some time ago on Instagram. And my first thought was that some pathetic sick fools were eating some kind of pizza, something really trashy and antisocial. My first impression was that something felt off about them. But now they're really gaining momentum, just becoming truly luxurious. And sometimes it even feels kind of surreal. I mean, she interviews Sobchak, right, for 3.5 hours. So how long did the actual interview take to film back then? Apparently several days, if the show itself is 3.5 hours long, and she's so enthusiastic about it. Plus, the view count is insane. Let's discuss why the views are so high. She interviews as if she's talking to an astronaut, or, I don't know, some great athlete. Like some outstanding person.
I've dreamed about this moment for a long time.
A joint unboxing?
Yes, and maybe from the master to the humble student. Obviously, I'm a copycat, kind of a weak imitation.
So much involvement, so much love. Is it really possible that Igor Sinyak deserved this from Ksenia Sobchak, from Sobchak? That's a big question. Also, how do you think your dad would react to this interview? After that, a rumor started going around that you only discuss Ksenia's anal bleaching.
Anal bleaching.
Well, who hasn't bleached their anus?
Well, I haven't bleached my anus.
Apply vitamin C to the private parts. Well, some kind of serum, this vitamin C, or maybe some kind of toner with niacinamides.
Does it burn?
No. Not harsh, well, kind of, but the effect is visible.
Basically, I just got rid of that Dom2 stuff, just got rid of that blonde, and now I'm back in the crap again, and again it's some kind of anal bleaching. I mean, what is this?
Today we are here at this modest gathering place to discuss Igor Sinyak.
Some people just like to get into the messiest stuff, right? Anyway, let's move on. Today we're filming about Igor Sinyak, and you also requested a video about the blonde guy. I'll confirm his name, birthplace, and other details. We'll review everything together. The only thing is, all bloggers say that as soon as you start analyzing and filming them, they immediately complain on YouTube, file complaints, snitch, and get litigious. They've already worn out poor Anton S. Guys, I have a big question for you. Why are you doing this? I am honestly grateful that Anton S. analyzes me from time to time. And it would be weird if he were to kiss my ass. Or it would be weird if any other bloggers were to kiss your ass. Well, let them criticize. That's the whole point. That's where the real flavor is. It's wonderful that they're interviewing him, picking him apart, and starting to actively draw attention to you, no matter what kind of attention it is. And that's why I'm amazed right now. I want to ask the same thing, for example, to everyone I've analyzed. Be happy, it's so great. Why are you complaining about me? What's with all this tattling? What kind of nonsense is this anyway? When I'm being analyzed, I'm over the moon with happiness. I want to share some very important news, my friends. Super important news. What, a year? Subscribe to my Telegram right now and you'll receive an amazing, I can't even call it a guide. It's a whole book, about 80 or 81 pages, maybe even more, over 80 pages, on the amazing topic of money and freedom. And this is my gift to you. So you will subscribe now, and please don't unsubscribe. Stay subscribed to my main Telegram channel and to my bot, because through this bot I will be sending you a lot of different gifts throughout the week. I will send you a lot of videos, exercises, and I will send you an amazing meditation. So take this super product. It's very interesting. Look at how much I've put into it, how much useful and valuable stuff is in there, how many great exercises there are. Here, take this. It's yours forever. Just follow the link in the description or use the QR code and get all of this through the bot. And don't unsubscribe, yes, because for a long time I'll be giving you a lot more interesting things there. I'm just so happy. I don't necessarily watch it. I don't read the comments. I know there's a lot of hate there, and I'm just happy. Oh my gosh, it's so nice. Right away, I get more subscribers somewhere on YouTube, on Telegram, on Instagram, on VK. It's amazing how you can come onto the scene, become a popular blogger, and start issuing strikes, suing bloggers. Yeah, honestly, I don't really understand it. And people write to me, you better be careful with them. Take them apart cautiously. They always complain. So honestly, I don't really understand your motives, so to speak. Is it really that painful? Well, then don't go out into this internet space. Well, then don't make statements. Don't put yourself out there. This is about what Sinyak was doing.
Igor Sinyak is a person who turned bullying and rumors into a business. The creator of VPSH, a public page where reputations burned faster than posts were published and hate was monetized into millions of views. At its peak, a cult of personality, a controlled army of followers, and the status of the main media judge of Russian YouTube. Conflicts, bans, accusations of doxing and systematic harassment.
I didn't witness it, but when he was younger, he targeted some underage kids and well-known bloggers, criticized them, and now he's accused of bullying. Mainly, I actually don't really see any bullying in this. Well, bullying is when there's actually serious harassment. Bullying is when there are some threats. Yes, but criticism, no matter what kind, well, I'm always in favor of constructive criticism. And even if it's not constructive, let there be both constructive and non-constructive criticism. First of all, where is the line between constructive criticism and non-constructive criticism? It's not very clear. Everything is, so to speak, very subjective, yes. In your opinion, it's constructive. In my opinion, it's destructive. So any criticism is amazing. So these young bloggers, yes, they've come onto the scene and all sorts of rotten eggs are being thrown at them, including tomatoes. What's the big deal?
It's unfortunate it happened then, and I'm sorry. Or I did all of that. And to all the girl bloggers I made those expose videos about, I have personally apologized to them more than once.
So he was like that, with all this self-blame and apologies. Forgive me, kind people. But honestly, I didn't really see anything wrong that he did there. Well, aside from the fact that he was, basically in late puberty, but still 18 years old, 18 or 19, what can you really expect from him? When I was 18 or 19, I didn't have any sense at all. I did such strange, if not downright crazy things. That's why I just don't really understand it in that sense. So Strelitz is suing me because she didn't like something. Oh my God, just be happy. And not just with me, but she's suing many bloggers too. Literally, she's actually suing them. So that's how it is. Well, okay, we'll leave it at that, but I have a question for you about this. And I don't really understand why you dislike it so much. Oh, and by the way, about Anton S. If we take him and his strong emotions toward both of them.
Andre with that nasal voice like that, yeah. And Sergey is London Karksalap. With these Ankorsky people, it's certainly an interesting story because no matter how much they earn, the amount of money they spend, the amount they spend on luxury items, that's really a phenomenal story. France and Germany's tax authorities consider it blatant money laundering.
I'll tell you what it is. First of all, it's envy in a way. He is, of course, jealous of them. He's jealous that all these divas, so to speak, have stooped down to Igor and his whole gang. He's jealous of this beautiful, wonderful, luxurious, active life. As for Anton, he still has social anxiety. We can see that. He doesn't leave his apartment, his walls. He calls over some escorts, sits there, takes something, overeats and suffers in a way, right? And here we see that this group is strolling through the beautiful streets of Paris, going into the best boutiques, staying at wonderful hotels. Of course, he feels this envy. And the second thing is he would also like to be friends. He would also like to be part of this group, but he can't. Because of his various personal qualities and things like that.
I watched their vlogs, I liked them, cooking, buying some luxury items, and I supported them, well, because I didn't like what they were doing. And the next day, a huge number of people come to me and say, Anton, what are you doing? They're launching their damn course. This Andre writes to me, or maybe on my Instagram, Anton, we need to have a call. They call me and start saying, Anton, why don't you love us? This childish attitude from guys almost 50, if not already 50, right? Antoshenka? What do you mean, Antoshenka? Anton Vladimirovich, for you. Because with an Insta-swindler, my conversation is extremely short.
And that's why he has no choice but to start throwing crap in this direction. Basically, those are the main motives. Well, thank God, and let him keep doing it. No, they started writing him some kind of... Anyway, let's get back to our little bruise. What do we see? Overall, if we try to describe it, again, there is a before and after. So before, it's more like some guy who puts on makeup from time to time, right? He does his makeup. And now he has completely turned into, well, a feminine-like person. He has a lot of femininity. Actually, when a person gains a lot of weight, there is definitely a hormonal shift, right? He gains weight, and with this weight, he immediately becomes kinder at the same time. So if we make him slim again, there will be more masculinity and less femininity, less of that kindness and more aggression. He's actually kind of into BDSM. He actually has a lot of sadomasochism if you look closely. And of course, this slamming of the fridge and uncontrollable avalanche like eating. This is an eating disorder, right? It's actually a way to build up a kind of armor for yourself. Because he's really scared, he's anxious. Actually, haters, on the one hand, because he was kind of a long-time hater, he weighed in on all these blogger things. It's really hard. I mean, you still realize that you're doing something that seems kind of wrong. He still comes out of the Soviet Union, still comes out of that childhood, well, it doesn't matter, kindergarten, school, and so on, out of that society where there was good and bad. And that's why, in his mind, he still feels like he's doing something wrong, saying bad things about people, and that's not okay. And this anxiety eats the person up, even though these problems definitely came from childhood. But still, he felt like he wasn't like everyone else, and he had to eat away this anxiety, eat away this inner restlessness, this need for some kind of emotional support, for love. Because in this fat and in this food, there is actually essentially a lot of things. Of course, everything. There is complete compensation and need occurring there. It's also found in shopping addiction, which we'll discuss, and in some forms of fetishism. In this wild love for handbags, in the attempt to replace real people with these handbags. For him, these are real people. Just saying. If you're wondering why he collects these handbags, it's because, honestly, they are like his friends, his close ones. These are the people with whom he can't manage to build close relationships. It just doesn't work out. No matter what, it just doesn't.
Actually, it's really like some kind of illness for us, yeah? We're fighting it. Because it's some kind of, a strange form of shopaholism. Only bags are being bought. So he doesn't react to some things at all. Yeah, he says, I don't need this, I don't need that. But when it comes to bags...
It's hard for him to find the love of his life, to build a real, healthy relationship, maybe even a family, to find that depth. And these bags are like an attempt to compensate for and make up for that. These are the very objects as if that won't betray me, that won't hurt me, that won't leave me, that's it. They represent secure attachment for me, but here no, I will avoid this depth. I don't need that. And all these buddies who are around him, it's all still extremely superficial. That's it. Let's not get close. Let's not get close. Let's just giggle. Let's do it like that. Of course, he's prone to anxious and phobic states. He takes antidepressants. He's afraid to stop taking them so he doesn't fall back into that pit again.
It was so psychologically unbearable for me that I didn't go outside for several months. I didn't go outside at all. It was hard for me to even take a shower. I was depressed. And to this day, I still take antidepressants.
Subtitles created by Dima Torzok. Actually, this often happens with bloggers of this kind. Yes, in this sort of criticism, so to speak. And actually, they are very similar to Antona in many ways, to be honest. So maybe that's why there's this kind of hate towards each other. Next, if we bring up the topic of whether this person is a man or a woman, there's a certain androgyny there, which again increases with the extra weight. Yes, it adds to the femininity. There is both feminine and masculine in them. We can't call this person a transvestite since they don't just change clothes or treat it as a game. They're not pretending. They truly live this way.
I like to look feminine. I like taking care of myself. I like having long hair. I like quality makeup. I like everything related to femininity. This is something that lives inside me. It's something I have within me. And that's me. I can't say, that I'm a man or that I'm a woman. No, I'm just me. That's all.
That's all. I mean, it's something close to that. Again, he talked about himself as basically a non-binary person. And if we start asking questions about LGBT advertising, yes, about the promotion of some kind of non-traditional relationships and so on, then the question arises, we ask ourselves, why is it allowed for Zitkovsky but not for Sinyak? Well, why is that? Neither of them speaks out either for or against the military operation. They generally don't discuss politics at all, neither side. Both of them do makeup, both of them are bloggers, but for some reason one of them is considered respectable and the other isn't. What do you think? Why is that? Why, and also why is it okay for Sobchak to make this video but other bloggers can't? Yes, there are some questions here, so to speak, yes. Accordingly, since that's the case, I, so to speak, partially join in with all of this. Next, if we look at the psychological profile, what do we see overall? But of course, like any fat person, he is good-natured. By the way, I can't even remember any really mean or, in general, negatively inclined chubby person. I'm speaking from real-life experience, not as a blogger, since these are different people. So you see one person, you see me now, right? On your screens, maybe on your phones, at your computers, and so on. But in reality, I'm a completely different person. I'm an endlessly kind person, so kind that sometimes I even have to hide from my own kindness. I'm very helpful, very self-sacrificing, really just like that. If you got to know me better, you would say, oh my God, I never would have thought you were like this, but I am like this. But here I realize that I need to put on some kind of mask and turn on the version of myself that you will be watching. And here he has a similar position, by the way, and Antones as well. I mean, they are completely different people when you get to know them closely. I don't know either of them personally, but I'm more than sure that's the case. You'll meet a very kind person. So yes, he is a very kind person, very sensitive, creative, takes everything to heart, suspicious, anxious. That's the kind of person he is. He has retreated into his own shell, into his own circle. And by the way, this fat is also a kind of armor, really. How does he live with it? After all, he's around 30 years old. I don't know his exact age, so if anyone knows, write in the comments how old he is. But he's around 30, maybe 30 or a little over 30. And he's already gained so much weight that, of course, this leads to a whole range of various diseases. Cardiovascular diseases, probably hypertension. What else? Oh my God. Diabetes and who knows what else. His armpits sweat, his belly, his butt, everything sweats. And if this continues, he won't live long. Because people don't live long at that weight. Here's the question. Who are you buying these handbags and this jewelry for? Who gets all this Chanel if you only live 2 or 3 more days at this weight? But really, you look at it and you realize, oh, that's cool, that's awesome, but you're not going to make it, you're not going to live. Where are you taking all this? Are you going to take it with you to the grave? So there are these kinds of questions, about this whole psychological and emotional state, first and foremost. Here are my favorites. What else can we say about all this stuff, right? This collection, the collection of these handbags, I already mentioned what all this is about, and about the personality trait. Yes, it's extremely flamboyant. And of course, there's a huge steroid component there. It's such arrogance. But I want to tell you about this whole crowd. It still has this sociopathic vibe. And when he talks about the robbery, it's very typical for this particular category of people. And this dinner party that you saw, you can immediately tell that the person who gave the tip is present there. It could very well be, right? I mean, it's not necessarily some escort he called who ratted him out, no. In this environment, it could be the person closest to you who does it. That's why I always tell you and my daughters, especially when you're dealing with gay people. I'm talking about lesbians. That's a whole separate group. They're completely different. They'll bury bodies with you. They'll go to war. They won't betray you, and they'll stay by your side. Now you'll say, that's such a cliche. What kind of stereotypes are these? Even stereotypes, believe me, actually have their own statistical basis. So let it sound like something like that. It might seem very ordinary to you, but I just want to say that lesbians are different. It's all about deeper meaning, more emotions, feelings, love, and so on. Gays are more about sex, it's more about some kind of superficiality, and actually endless betrayal and promiscuity. So, I always tell you and the girls, it's insanely fun to be friends with gays. It's non-stop fun there, it's like an endless performance, you'll be entertained. But remember, at some point he will definitely set you up. He will definitely plant something on you, like when the cops search you, he'll slip something to you. He might give some kind of tip-off. I mean, that's the kind of environment it is. Of course, there are some exceptions, and of course, there are completely different kinds of gay people. I'm generalizing a lot here, just so you know. But that's the kind of environment where you have to be on your guard, keep your ears open, keep people at arm's length, and everything is just like this. Ha 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 ha, how are you? Everything's fine, everything's great, let's go to a boutique and have a laugh. Why do so many girls like to be friends with gay guys or androgynous people? It doesn't matter. Because it's safe there in the sense that no one will, let's say, take away your, well, let's say, conventionally traditional man. And it's like a gay guy will be less likely to envy you. After all, he's still a man deep down, although actually gay guys can be really envious too. But it feels like it would be to a lesser extent, like there's a sense of less threat. No one is going to rape you. It's like there's this illusion that everything is predictable, but it's just an illusion. So I tell this to my daughters too. Make friends, have fun, it's really great, but remember that you always need to be on your guard with them. And of course they sometimes notice what I say, like, yeah, something weird really did come up out of nowhere. They already know this about themselves. I'm not saying anything new here, and that's often why they don't really like each other.
You even, so to speak, took away from well-known bloggers.
She was just insanely jealous of me because of him, and it's absolutely unclear why. We were just spending time together. We could go to a late night movie or something.
You were someone close to me, like a friend, right up until you saw that Russ and I started getting closer. You were trying to message Russ at the same time, telling him that I wasn't good enough for him and literally bombarding his DMs, texting him several times a day, begging for his intimate photos. Igor, your problem is that you are pathologically incapable of being a friend.
They constantly betray people. Betrayal is the first thing that stands out about them. So she sits in this environment, Sobchak, and there's this kind of sociopathic energy in breaking some kind of rules. She doesn't even seem to notice it. She's very narcissistic. Sobchak, she doesn't pick up on it, that here and now there could be some kind of setup. Be careful, you can't go into this with such an open heart. She goes into this with such an open heart, with so much love. Like I said before, she has these 3 main boxes where she puts her guests. First, there are the big financial sharks, whom she just sucks up to, fawns over, favors and kisses up to. The second group is made up of freaks, different people she feels sorry for, she just pities them. And they don't pose any threat to her. They're some kind of porn stars, and she just sucks up to them, flatters them, fawns over them. And the third group, the ones she goes after, I ended up in the third group. She attacks, finds some kind of evidence of something just to expose, destroy, suffocate, drown. Yes, those are her 3 main categories. That's why right from the beginning of the interview you can immediately tell which category she put that person into. So what else can we say about this gay crowd, I mean the party crowd? And of course, what else is there? Endless alcohol, drugs, some promiscuity, some stealing, escorts, someone snitching on someone else. So this kind of mess is basically always present there. Yeah, so there are all these parties, venereal diseases, some sex shop. That's it, that's how it is. Even if you just go, for example, in almost any city in the world, there are neighborhoods with sex shops. These aren't just neighborhoods with sex shops. They're all covered in rainbows. And that's the Raven Black flag, by the way. I filmed and discussed this too. In 1978, this flag was just blatantly stolen from the empire. Yes, the Incas. And the flag, which is actually several thousand years old, they just took it. Well, there was one Jewish guy from Los Angeles, he just took it. He took it and decided to make it LGBT. That's not true. This is actually the flag of the great empire. It always was. So besides the fact that the rainbow was taken away from children, so to speak, now people are afraid of this rainbow. It was always kind of like a sandbox. It was always something childish, and now it was just shamelessly taken away. So, here's what I want to say. By the way, I have nothing against LGBT, just so you know. I only object to this inappropriate behavior towards minors, and about this excessive pushing of it. Also, there's something else I want to mention about myself. When this LGBT law came out, I realized that I can't stay silent about it. By the way, if you're interested in this topic, I can't stay silent about it. I want to talk about it. But now I can only talk about it as if in a negative way. And that suits me too. Why? Because I have a nuanced attitude toward this. But I'm forbidden to talk about the positive side, and I'm allowed to talk about the negative side, so at least I'll talk about the negative. Just so you understand, I actually have a different, more nuanced attitude toward this topic. So, it's not about how or why things have changed so much. I haven't changed. Well, I haven't changed. The rules of the game have changed, that's all. And now they tell me don't talk about this. I say, okay, I won't talk about it. But I can talk about this. You can talk about your indignation, but you can't talk about what suits you there. Okay? And that's how it is. With this kind of selection, that's how it turns out. The information becomes more one-sided and it looks more negative somehow. If you watch my previous videos, everything was more comprehensive. I discussed both the negative and positive, making it look more uniform and balanced. So, getting back to Snishku, what else do we want to say? Yes, we all see this. It's not binary. Of course, we see it. And this extra weight, I mean, you just want to ask, what the heck is going on there, right? Well, yes, okay, they're outrageous, very eccentric, hysterical, of course, obviously. And he spread his thighs, sat down on the couch, and I just have this feeling that, first of all, the couch is about to break. It just sank even more under him. He sprawls out with his thighs exposed, like he's expecting extra hours or something. I wanted to say, put on some pants, cover your legs. But he likes them, maybe thinks his calves or ankles are slim. He just doesn't see himself as big. He thinks he's slimmer and more fit at first glance. Small, all compact. It's still hard for him to grasp the scale of it. Oh, by the way, write to me in the comments. I have a feeling that he and I look a lot alike. Actually, our whole group looks a lot alike. I look at them and think, oh my God, the blonde one looks like my mom, my sister, and my daughter. He must be some kind of relative. Sinyak looks exactly like me. It's just a copy of me. Especially when he was 18 or 19 with dark hair. I look and think, oh my God, that's me. The same kind of Tatar face. Though he's not Tatar, he has Ukrainian roots and some other heritage as well. There is some resemblance, yes. This guy over there in glasses, that's also my face. I look at them and it's like they're my relatives or something. First of all, they're constantly wandering around Paris. I've seen them about 50 times. If you walk around central Paris, even in the 16th district with all the boutiques, you'll always see them. They're everywhere, constantly doing walkthroughs and photo shoots. You can always spot them. They're like out of a cartoon, these three hamsters walking along. One is a tall gopher, the second is chubby, and the third is, well, you know, it immediately reminds you of some cartoon. So, if you don't mind, I'll check what else I might have missed. I'm sure I missed a ton of information. But overall, I think I covered the main things. Of course, without a doubt, he's a very capable businessman.
You see, I can always smell money, you know? I can feel it, and I'm always where the money is.
He has that entrepreneurial streak, yeah, and he really knows how to grow all those Telegram channels. Once again, rumors are circulating about him starting a shady company, but that's just what Anton S. is saying. You know, what Anton S. says is even less reliable than an old wives' tale. 90% of it is fake. Well, it's true. He says, why does it seem like I'm losing interest in him? Anton, please, I'm asking you, give more facts. Although everything there is based on rumors, when I listened to what was said about me, there was something about me being some Tajik girl with a braid or something.
Our little bird writes there about Veronika Stepanova. Veronika is not really Veronika and not from Leningrad. She's from Tajikistan, our little bird writes. She was dark-complexioned, plucked her eyebrows, and lied that she had just come from the seaside.
She had some kind of plastic surgery to look more Russian. Well, I mean, it was some strange information. So the fact that I'm a Tajik woman from Tajikistan, that's also something new. In short, yes, that's the situation. I'm sure I'm missing something else right now. Oh, and he's really good at making money. That's definitely his strong suit, and people take heavy advantage of him. All these people around him who are always circling him, they're actually using him, and deep down he understands that, and it eats away at him too, honestly. He actually buys this friendship as if he's been doing it since childhood.
You know, it was really important for me to prove something to my classmates who didn't like me at school, who hated me, bullied me, hurt me, and even beat me up. It was important for me to prove to them that they were wrong. And after many years, those who used to hate me would write to me on Instagram and say, "Wow, you're actually really cool."
So it's like he's buying this friendship as if he can't be loved for who he is. I absolutely have to support someone, buy people off, give gifts to someone, just keep everyone on the hook.
Asya is now, well, one of the closest people to me.
He has such a difficult situation, a foreign country. He ended up there by accident, has no money.
I help Asha. I always help if she needs some money or anything else, absolutely always.
And for the most part, they revolve around him. Well, because they really are people like that, especially gays, very materialistic. If he doesn't have that kind of money, there won't be anyone around him, no one except his mom. He loves his mommy so much, and only his mommy will stay with him, yes. That's it, he really won't be needed by anyone. Moreover, in the gay community, they can't stand fat people. They just can't, they don't like them. Gays want everything to be beautiful. They are not tolerant at all. They demand some kind of tolerance towards themselves, but they don't want to show that tolerance themselves. Not at all, they don't demonstrate it. You have to measure up, make sure all your teeth are in place, make sure you're attractive. And by the way, about that anal bleaching, I bleached my anus. We've all bleached our anuses. And first of all, in my opinion, a bleached anus looks kind of weird, almost pig-like. Okay. I always want things perfect. I'm a perfectionist and want everything just right. No one hands you that. That's perfectionism.
So that even there, you know, everything is smooth and perfect.
Like in a Chanel purse, soft and smooth.
Yeah, soft and white, making everything just right.
You know? But you're a perfectionist, so where's your healthy body perfectionist? You should focus on the main thing first. Forget about the damn anus. Focus on what's important. Take care of your health, not your anus. Yeah, that's what I want to ask. And you see it very often that she's making herself look pretty, getting her nails done, yeah, doing her makeup, every hair in place, but her butt is huge, like 350 kilograms, all blown up from burgers like an American. And here, it just doesn't quite add up, you know? So, what else do I want to say? Yes, I said that. And basically, they all hang around just to use him. It's true, yes. I'm not joking, that's really how it is. And he happily buys them all. So, we've talked about that. As for his work as a singer, he's absolutely talentless, obviously. Of course, absolutely no one is going to listen to or watch that. Right? People will just come to see, like, what's this greasy made-up guy, like a woman? Well, maybe a couple of times, that's it. So why so many views? Because it's interesting, yes. There is a certain group of people who love a freak show. The second group are perverts, like me with Smith Sobchak. The third group in general is like, let me take a look. What's this? Something kind of crappy, yeah. So that's how it is. Yes, but the ability to make money is phenomenal, of course. Well done. In that sense, you can even be a little jealous.
My main income probably comes from Telegram public channels. I have a network of them. Yes.
I also make money.
Yes.
The main thing everyone is talking about now is that they might just pass a law about advertising. And then basically, yes, your business will be completely shut down, just like mine in many ways.
Well, Kshusha, I still have a business.
Oh, well, they'll shut all that down too. And you know who he reminds me of? I want to tell you, some old market woman, the kind who's done time. He has, again, I'm telling you, they have this kind of little shady vibe, you know, like one of those shuttle traders who used to go to Turkey, those markets, running around with those checkered bags. Guys, I have some tights to give as a gift. Let's make a deal. I bought fish for us to eat now and some chicken. I also have some contraband here. I've got everything. Something like that. That's it. She stuffed all her supplies into her little den like a hamster. It's this kind of petty bourgeois thing, you know? I have everything. I even have crackers.
Here I have gel,
Actually, I have everything. And there's this kind of presence, like you see some old lady. Here are my little salt shakers. Share your thoughts and feelings about them in the comments. I have a feeling that this is just a wave, it's some kind of very temporary hype, then they'll collapse and just wander around like that. Right away, torn butts and nobody needs them anymore. Yeah, just fools like hobos. So it's like right now it's just some kind of wave of, I don't know, irrationality? Because there aren't that many people as twisted as me and Sobchak who get excited by men dressed as women, yeah. So how long is this going to last for them? I don't know. I don't think it will last long because basically there is no product as such, yes. A little here, a little there, a little over there, a little somewhere else. So basically Sinyak will never be left without money. There's this inner drive basically. As for everyone else, that's a big question. Because there is no product. Someone did a bit of info scamming and messed around here and there, but when it comes to vocal abilities, creativity and music videos, that's just laughable. It's funny. Although Ankara, that song, it just stuck with me. Well, Uncle Natash really doesn't like them. By the way, Uncle Natasha, it's already at the cachectic stage. Yes, dystrophy, anorexia, she's all like that, standing like a stork, her iliac bones are already sticking out, everything. That's some real craziness. She even imitates Litvinova, making the same finger gestures. That's some real craziness. Some cockroaches are walking around Paris. They've appeared.
I had cockroaches appear in my house. We got rid of them, but I can't get rid of this one. I don't want him crawling around Paris. It's like they're desecrating my city. Well, I don't like it.
It's like some kind of envy, too. By the way, a lot of people now have this wild envy towards that trio. Although it's not just a trio, it's a whole team, their group. And that guy with the sock has settled in with them, too. They probably all mess around there, too. They get high on marijuana and have sex and have anal sex. Kisulkis. What else do I want to say? Well, that's it. Basically, I talked. Basically, I said that yes, he's a boy with self-irony and a sense of humor. But he wasn't quite himself. When he gave an interview to Sobchak, he was too quiet. I mean, he was still in some kind of intense tension. He still couldn't open up, so he seemed a bit one-dimensional. So that's not all of him, let's put it that way. Yes, he was tense. There wasn't that kind of expression he usually has. He was really reserved. Here you are, my dears. What do I want to tell you? Oh, right, I want to tell you some very important news, my friends. Super important news. That you are now subscribing to my Telegram. And you will receive an amazing, I can't even call it just a guide. It's a whole book, 81 pages, maybe even more than 80 pages on the wonderful topic of money and freedom. And this is my gift to you. So you will subscribe now, and please don't unsubscribe. Stay subscribed to my main Telegram channel and to my bot. Because through this bot, I will be sending you a lot of different gifts throughout the week. I will send you a lot of videos and exercises. I will send you an amazing meditation. I will send it. So go ahead and take this super product. It's very interesting. Look at how much I put into it. There's so much useful stuff here. There's so much valuable and practical information. So many amazing exercises. Here, take this for yourself forever. Just follow the link in the description or use the QR code. And get all of this through the bot. And don't unsubscribe. Yes, because for a long time I'll be giving you a lot more interesting things there. And I send you gentle kisses, my sweeties, and hugs. See you next time. Subtitles.